Evening, evening. How we doing? Thank you for joining me already. You caught me a little bit off guard there. Just sending out a message on Discord. Try and get some people in. How are we all doing today? So I've just done a TikTok and it's quite interesting actually. I had a little look because obviously Bitcoin's now going sideways for the weekend. We've seen Quant going on a monstrous run. We've seen XRP do very, very well as well. We've also seen some other projects push up, but I had a look around the ISO region and I noticed that Algo and XDC had a pump, but there could be more in the tank. So I'm just having a look at that. It's an interesting one to go and have a look at. Another one, how are we doing? Good to see you. Thank you for dropping in. Crypto Toe, how are we doing, buddy? Good to see you on YouTube. Welcome, welcome. I hope you're very, very well. So I've just got to sort the charts out on TradingView. So I'm just going to focus on Bitcoin. This is the corner that I believe we're being squeezed into at the moment. And as you can see here, for the last 4 weeks, we've pretty much remained around 19K, despite the volatility as you move in. My view on ETH is that I need to do a lot more research. Personally, I don't fully appreciate the impact of what's left in proof of work and how proof of stake is going to move forward. So to be honest with you, hand on heart, I need to research where that's heading, what the implications are. I think ETH is great technology. I don't think the EVM machine, I don't think EVM is going anywhere. It's great tech. It's just whether or not Ethereum itself is now kind of behind its own game. So it's a bit of a strange one, that one for me. But yeah, as I said, Bitcoin volatility is still there on the 4 hour and the hourly. It's really difficult to predict. I do need to rechart this. So if you're on YouTube and you can see that, I need to rechart this. We have bounced off this lower support level several times, and we actually broke through it before. We wicked down to 18.1 very, very briefly on the 4 hourly, and we did break above it for the best part of half a day. So I need to rechart that. And looking at the hourly, well, that's just going to be an absolute bloodbath for the last couple of days. So yeah, real volatility in Bitcoin. But of course, that's where I have an advantage as a long-term investor. For me personally, I kind of ignore the noise. I look at what I want to buy now, what I want to DCA into, and I will buy it and I will hold it 2, 3, 4 years. Next bull run and beyond. So for me, this volatility can present some opportunities. But in terms of products I like, I would be bullish on them for years. So whether I buy them now or whether I buy them when they dip another 40, 50%, it could happen. It doesn't bother me. We'll have a pump to 21K and all down to 14. I think that's possible. Yeah, if we truly break out from this trend, we are probably going to break out. 21's probably a good shout, to be fair. I like 21. That's a good call. Maybe 21.1, 21.3, somewhere around there, possibly. Looking on the daily chart, that's perfectly possible. And then, like I said, I think there will always be a big run up and then a big drop down. We've seen that through that manipulation around CPI already recently. Mark, how are we doing, buddy? Good to see you there on TikTok. I hope you're very, very well. Thoughts on Filecoin? I think Filecoin is very good established tech. Google getting into the cloud storage space in crypto is a bit of a concern for me. Google are an absolute powerhouse, and whatever market they enter, they tend to dominate. So that will be a really interesting one. So yeah, Filecoin, great tech, really established, very, very strong project. Really like it. But as I said, these new partnerships with Google coming into the space and other new projects as well will challenge Filecoin for sure. Would I say Arweave is better than Filecoin? I think they're both very, very good. I'm more familiar with Filecoin, so I couldn't say 100%. But I mean, Arweave is certainly that emerging tech. It's newer, and therefore you would like to think it's probably slightly smarter and faster than Filecoin. But first to market is always important. Filecoin was certainly one of the first to market in the cloud storage services. Quant, anyone? I've got to be honest with everyone now. I mean, Quant has done a 4x or more in the last 5 weeks. It's up over 300%. So I have taken a little bit of profit on that run. I was still buying over $200 last year, so I didn't really want to. And I am holding Quant long term, but yeah, I mean, I'm holding Quant long term, but you can't ignore profit when it's there. It's one of the things I've learned so far in crypto is if you don't take profit when it's available, that's when you really lose. So although I love Quant long term, I've sold a little bit just to take some of that money out. So you imagine, like, let's say you had $100 worth of Quant and it's now $420. I mean, why wouldn't you just take $200 profit out and then let the rest ride? I mean, it's not financial advice; it's my viewpoint. And if the price comes back down, I will keep that stable coin to one side and buy back in. Otherwise, it's just pure profit. Yeah, I mean, we can't ignore these rises on Quant. I mean, it will consolidate and come down at some point, but just like in the bull runs, we do not know when that is. Is Quant okay to short? I mean, you would think that possibility is there, but it's looking very, very strong. I mean, if I have a look at Quant on the hourly chart, I mean, I'm still getting buy signals, to be fair. It's got buy written all over it. It's so aggressive, it's not slowing down. But I just wanted to take some profit when it was there, just in case. I think we're going to be safe over the weekend. It's going to be when the market's open again on Monday. That'll be the real tell. But yeah, the daily chart on Quant is looking very, very, very strong. And it's still got massive buy signals all over it. I mean, it's just a very aggressive chart. And as I said, yeah, we started off $39 we started off at, and that was 13th of June. So in the space of 4 months, we have gone up to $182, which is over a 4x. So, a 300% profit margin. I'm going to take some profit. That was my thinking on it today. And as I said, it's one of my biggest lessons from the bull run last year. I didn't take profit when it was there, and I should have. Is there any other way of making money right now except futures? Yeah, I mean, there are some good projects that are pumping. I mean, I just put a video out sort of saying, well, Quant's pumped, XRP's pumped. Have a look at XDC, have a look at Algo, have a look at XLM. Have they pumped? And although they've gone up a little bit, they have come back down. And they look like they might be turning back upwards. So just have a look at those. I mean, if we're saying that ISO is really strong and that's why Quant's pumping, everyone's getting excited about ISO and stablecoins and CBDCs, then some of those projects are going to have runs as well. XRP and Ripple, obviously that's because of the court case. There's a lot of positive news there as well, and some ODL adoption. But in terms of XLM, XDC, Algo, they haven't seen those kinds of pumps yet, and maybe we should be seeing those. I mean, XDC's had about 20%. That's not a lot compared to the big ones. Buy BitGert future buy. I mean, BitGert is one I've looked at before. It wasn't for me at the time, but it wasn't awful. That's the way I'd go for it. I mean, BitGert wasn't awful. It just wasn't for me at the time. It's therefore not something I know 100% about. But by all means, I mean, BitGert looked reasonable, and it is kind of on one of my watch lists, but not a priority for me to accumulate. But as I said, I'm not an expert on BitGert, so not by any means. Thoughts on Gala Games? For me, Gala Games, I'm just going to pull up the tokenomics on CoinMarketCap to make sure I get it right. Gala Games is fantastic tech. I like the fact it's a gaming platform rather than a project. It's out, it's in use, it's constantly being developed and having new games added to it. But if you look at it tokenomics-wise, you've got 1/6 of the supply in circulation. So fully diluted, it's already a $1.3 billion project. Yes, there's going to be some upside as long as the tokenomics don't get smashed before the next bull run. But you've got a current normal market cap of 258 million. Yes, you could get some upside. Yes, I think Gala's good. Yes, I think it's going to hopefully survive the bear market, touch wood. Not financial advice. But the gains are not as big as people are shouting. This is not a 100x project. This could do a 4, 5, or hell, even maybe a 10x. but this is not a 100x project in the next bull run. Do I think buy while cheap? Yeah, I'm certainly DCAing. How about XRP? It's a saga story. It is, and that's why I still feed the narrative. I still give out the news and share the stories. But in terms of investment, I don't even DCA into XRP anymore. If it crashes down horrifically below 30 cents, I might buy some more. But right now, I'm buying things that I think will give me a better return and haven't got a court case over their head. I do think that Ripple will win, and I do think XRP will fly. But right now, I'm going to buy other things. It's really bad. Do I think NEAR will come down to $2 in the bear market? Let's have a look at NEAR as well then. Where are we trading on NEAR right now? NEAR Protocol is one that I really like, but I've got to be honest, I think when I was looking to buy it several months ago, I thought the price was overinflated. It's currently $2.4 billion market cap, 80% diluted. It's a good tokenomics. It is a fantastically good use case project, but 2.4 billion already, 2.9 fully diluted. Yes, you could say if it gets a similar kind of market cap to Solana or AVAX last year, that's 40 billion. There's a 10x in there, possibly. But it's not really that kind of project. It's not the next Solana. It's not the next Luna or AVAX. I think it could do really well. Again, market cap makes me dubious about how well. But I do like the use case. But generally, for me personally, I tend to invest in things that I think could give me a far better return than that. We all should be in some sort of shitcoin, but I'm on Quack. Thank me later. To be fair, do you know what? I don't like investing in meme coins. It's not really investment. It is gambling. But I've been given a lot of meme coin plays lately, and every one of them came good. So it's not something I ignore anymore. It's just something I'm not going to openly support. I think everyone's like that. They've got the projects that openly they'll go, no, don't like that. But then ultimately, as an investor, you think, well, I'm here to make money. So-and-so says it's good. They've done it before. It's got a good team. Chuck 20 quid in or whatever. See what happens. Because with a meme coin, all you need is $20, $50, and who knows, you could get 1,000 back. Speaking of meme coins, what's the future of Shiba Inu? Any thought? Shiba is now a heavily manipulated project owned by whales. I think it will bounce back in the next bull run. It has massive following, lots of supporters. But I think it's going to be incredibly volatile. You'll see it run up. There'll be a big marketing campaign from the whales, and then it'll dump, just like it does every year. It'll dump at least twice. Have I looked at ZCX Unizen? Any thoughts? That is not one I've ever looked at, but I can quite happily do that now. Let's have a look. ZCX. For anyone wondering, I've got the background up. I do have an AMA with Serenity Shield this coming Monday the 17th, 8:30 p.m. GMT. The link is in my bio. It's in the Discord. It's completely free. All you have to do is show up, listen, and ask them questions if you have any. Links to their socials are in my bio as well. As I said, completely free. All you got to do is turn up, and it is a fantastic project with fantastic utility. Please do come along and check that out. At worst case, you get information on a project you don't like. Best case, you get information on a project you love, and you find a new gem. I personally really like it. Right, Unizen. Let's have a look. ZCX up 15% today. Tokenomics-wise, there's a max supply of 1 billion. There's no confirmation of the current circulating supply. Fully diluted market cap's 129 million. Let's have a look. So this was released in April 21. Bull run pattern is rife through there. Nothing more than a bull run token. What's the use case? Will it see it through the bear market? Cross-chain enabled exchange applications. Cross-chain is going to be a big thing. We've seen a lot of exploits, all of which have been exploits in volatility, vulnerabilities within cross chains and bridges. There's been exploits specifically around those. So I think what you want to see is you want to see projects with excellent security around cross-chain, or even better, like ICP, not having to go cross-chain, letting it all be done on-chain. Trade with all the tokens on-chain. That's exactly what ICP does. Big difference in tech, hence it's not been adopted yet, but I think ICP have got exactly the right idea. Trade Ethereum, Bitcoin, all on-chain. You don't have to leave ICP. And I think that's where you need to go. Unizen, if it's specialized for that cross-chain enabled applications, we are still going to need that for a few years. So it could do well. I don't know the project though. Superficially, it looks okay. Fully diluted market cap is reasonable. There's obviously a lot of headroom there, but I don't know what the current circulating supply is. I don't know the tokenomics. It has a CertiK audit, which is always good to see. So yeah, it looks reasonable. Certainly more research required though. Has Bitcoin hit the bottom yet? In my opinion, it may have hit the bottom at 17.6, but traditionally we should see lower. We should actually be seeing 10 to 12k. What do I think about CBDCs? I think a lot of people won't like it because it's government control. But if you want crypto to be adopted, CBDCs are going to come, and regulation is going to come, and a degree of centralization is going to come as well. So CBDCs for me, if you have the right projects that support a CBDC, like Quant, like possibly Ripple, like XDC with the Australian CBDC testnet that they're doing, you should. That's an area that I personally focus on because I can see real world adoption actually happening, and it's happening with CBDCs. So that's where adoption for crypto is going to come in through the government, through CBDCs. What do I think BitGert could do? Could it 100x? Let's have a look at BitGert. I'll have a look at the tokenomics and things, and we'll see where we're going. So Bry's token, let's have a look. The tokenomics look meme coinish, but actually it's not a meme project. It's got a reasonable use case. Market cap's 205 million, fully diluted 500 million. 40% supply is a little bit lower than I would like, but it's reasonable depending on how old the project is. Bry's released in August 21. Definite bull run pattern, so it was very popular in the bull run. Nothing outside of that really. Crypto engineering projects. Auditing solutions. So yeah, auditing and security are going to be a big thing with all the projects building in the bear market for the next bull run, and all the projects building for CBDCs and industry and adoption in general. Audit and security is going to be a big thing. I don't know how good the Bry's or BitGert product is, but if it sees adoption, it's in a good area for growth. So there is potential there. But what I would say is if you have a look at projects that are already in the security arena, so things like Loot Ring, things like, let's have a look at Loot Ring. In the bull run and afterwards, they tended to hang around fairly low market caps. They weren't huge. Sorry, not Loot Ring. What's the bloody thing called? Come on, brain. Can't remember what it is, but wasn't Loot Ring. There was a couple of crypto projects I was looking at last year, and they'd struggled to get over 100 million. So the fact that BitGert is already over that is hopefully a good indication. But as I said, I don't know what the actual utility and use case on that is. So could it do 100x? I don't think so. 100x would put it at 30 billion. That's a big number. ICP, big fan of ICP. I'm stoking it on the NS governance service. Definitely like it a lot. Quant Stamp's a quality one, and that is a security one. That is very, very good. What's a good price to get into Quant? It depends. For me personally, I've just taken some profit, but if it doesn't dip down soon, I will continue to DCA into it. For me, Quant is a 4-digit coin long term. I believe in it. So if you're going to hold it long term, it depends what your sell target is as to whether or not you want to buy it. Not, I can't give financial advice, but that's my view on it. I'm holding it till it's 4 figures overall, but I have just taken a little bit of profit. But as I said, if it doesn't come back down, I'll just carry on DCAing into it. What's my thoughts on Chainlink? Funnily enough, actually, I just got some Chainlink today. I think Chainlink's a fantastic project. I love Quant in terms of overledger technology, but Chainlink is building blockchains and it helps support actual blockchain projects. It's in use in over 140 different projects right now. And if half of those fail in the bear market, Link will be there to build them again. They're not going anywhere, in my personal opinion. So it's the first time I've actually bought a bag of Link. I've had my focus elsewhere. But when I saw the price of Link at the moment, I thought I might as well have some. How far do I think it can go? I mean, for any project that's decent utility, I'm expecting at least previous bull run highs. That's why I think if you're investing in utility now of an established project, something like Chainlink, Polkadot, anything like that which has got good utility, good use case, you should at least see the previous all-time high in the next bull run. My personal viewpoint on it, but Chainlink should be stronger than that still because it'll do more. Yeah, I'm expecting Quant to pull back, but we just don't know. I mean, it just carried on going last year in the bull run, and it may well be we've got a bull run growth scenario here because we're looking very, very closely at CBDC use case and adoption at governmental level. I think there's been a bit of speculation. It could end up being a lot of buy the rumor, sell the news event. Of course, if Quant doesn't actually get used in these CBDCs, then a lot of the use case just disappears. If anyone's interested in seeing my screen when I go through and look at these projects or I look at a chart, please do feel free to hop over to YouTube. The link is in my bio on TikTok. Just go over there, follow the link and shoot through to my live. You'll be able to see my screen and what I look at. Gonna get £50 of ICP and leave it there. I'll have to have a chat, best way to stake later. There's lots of places you can stake ICP for decent returns. But for me, the NNS governance service, as well as being a decent way to get a return, you have a vote on the governance of the project, and it's on chain. It's in house. So by staking it with the NNS governance service, you're not going to be doing anything that's detrimental to the project. Whereas an exchange where you stake your tokens might just be there to make profit, of course. Whether that's in the best interest of ICP or not is irrelevant. So. It's with my Moonbeam, I stake it on Moonbeam. My Moonriver, I stake it on Moonriver. My ICP is on NNS governance service. I have bought some more Polkadot as well. I haven't gone into the parachains with this batch, but what I have done is I've gone onto Parallel, which is on Polkadot, which is a new project via the Polkadot parachain auctions, and I'm staking that in their .s. pool for 57% APY on Polkadot. So I'm happy with that. And it's really simple. They do all the pooling for you, and Parallel was very well funded in the crowd loan, so I was quite happy with that. Anthony, thank you for sharing the live, buddy. I appreciate that. Want to buy more Quant, not this price when it's dropping. Yeah, I agree, Happy. I've taken a little bit of profit on Quant. One thing I learned in the last bull run, I did not take enough profit when it was there. We've seen Quant at $40 and it's now at $180. It's over a 4x. It's up over 300%. I'm taking some profit. Not a lot, but I'll take some. And as I said, an example earlier, if you came in now, or when it was $40, $50 and put in $100, you've now 4 extra money. You're up 300%. Where's the harm in taking $200 out? You're still $100 up. You still hold. Okay, you hold less Quant. If it still runs up, you get more profit, and you hold that $200 to buy back in if it dips. And I do think it will dip. I mean, Quant has been running so strong now. If I look at the daily chart and just draw this in, where is my measure stick? There it is. Okay, so we started off down here about just under $40, but I'll do it roughly. We are now peaking out. So in 124 days, we are up 367%. So we've gone from $40.27 to $188 at the peak on the daily chart. And if you're not taking profit on that, then I don't know. I can't give financial advice. It's just my opinion. But if you don't take profit on something when you are up over 360%, why are you here? It's profit. That's what we're here for. And if you've got other projects that you like, that aren't quant, that you think will do well, just roll some of that profit across into that project, and hopefully that'll run. And you just keep the money machine going. Have I seen SXP? I have not. Let's have a look at SXP. Let's have a little search. SXP. I'm not that great with the tickers, so I am looking that one up. It's actually called SXP. Or you're looking at Venus SXP. Now, Venus is one that I've looked at before, actually. I don't know if it's the one you're on about, though. Hope there's nothing naughty on my screen. No, you had me worried then. I thought, what have you seen that I haven't? I've got two screens. You can only see one. Let's see crypto during session, then we know more. Absolutely. I think the bear market's here. We are, verging towards recession. I think it's going to happen, or if we're not, well, I think we're already in it, but technically we're not, apparently, because they've moved the goalposts. But I think we are in a recession, and I think the market's behaving like we're in a recession. But I think we'll see what happens. Am I not watching the rugby? Not at the moment. No, I watched the women's rugby this morning, but I'm not watching the rugby at the moment. I normally would be. So I will find out what time that's on. What time's the rugby on till? It's the Rugby World Cup for the women, isn't it? ETH may bottom to 900 soon. Bitcoin to 14, be aware, as it's maybe pointless. Yeah, I mean, if ETH goes below 1,000 again, I'm certainly going to buy a little bit of ETH. I missed out on that one last time. I'd like to buy it again. We have seen, I think we've seen a local bottom of 17.6. The question is whether or not it goes down more. In a traditional bear market, we would actually see 10 to 12. We're in a recession, so not to go down that low would be weird. But crypto's never seen a recession, so we don't actually know how it behaves. Market is in Wall Street hands now, so be able to get new users. It needs to go down a bit. Yeah, possibly, yeah. MIR, is that Mirror Protocol? Mirror Protocol looks like it's a decent use case. Again, another one that I've never done a deep dive into, not one I hold. But right now, you've got a market cap of $15 million. Fully diluted, that's 75. That means only 20% of your supply is in circulation, which is quite low. Not completely awful, but quite low. This launched in December 2020, had a really good bull run, and honestly, it's done nothing since. I can't even call it a bull run chart, because after May 21, it was dead. It's done nothing but go down since then. And I think that's possibly, looking into the background of it, actually, I just realised why. MIR is the governance token of Mirror Protocol, a synthetic assets protocol built by Terraform Labs. Now, where have we heard of Terraform Labs before? Oh, yeah, Terra Luna. So that might be why Mirror Protocol's broken. So, yeah, not for me. Yeah, Jasmy is a very, very, very heavily marketed project. And it's another one of these, is I compare it to Jupiter. Jasmy and Jupiter are both coins that superficially look like they got great use case, but they are so manipulated by whales and VCs, I just don't touch them. Not unless I can get in when it's really, really cheap, like absolute bottom. And then they'll pump. So any new users, as I said, just I have got a free Discord. I've got YouTube going at the moment as well. Links for all of that is in the bio. There is an AMA with Serenity Shield on Monday. Links for that are in my bio as well. Make sure you check that out. It'd be great to see some of you in there. There is a channel in the Discord for the questions as well. So if you've got any load questions you want to load up, drop them in there and we'll get them asked in the AMA. But of course, you'll also be welcome to join us on the stage on Monday to ask the question yourselves. More than welcome. The team are really, really good. I like the project. It's a fantastic utility project. I really do hope to see some of you there. Wish I bought more Quant at 40. Yeah, me too. I was being greedy. I honestly thought the market was going to drop more. And then we could see a £30 Quant. And I was greedy. Considering my dollar cost average was like 3 times higher. I should have just been buying. It was silly. Silly. But like I said, I've taken a little bit of profit on what I've bought recently. And you know, I'll hold that back in the hope that it dips and then I'll reaccumulate. I hope. But, of course, Quant might not ever come down, or it could come down horrifically. I personally think it needs to reset. I mean, it's up 367% on the daily chart. You know, it's done a 4x, more than a 4x. So yeah, we need Quant to settle down. But at the moment, the daily chart is so strong on Quant. I mean, if you're on YouTube, you can see it right there. We ran from $40 all the way up to $188 on the daily chart. That's 367% in 124 days. What's that? That is 4 months, a little over 4 months. And that is phenomenal performance. So anyone that, you know, and the good thing about Quant now as well is that no one's really arguing that Quant's not any good. Everyone knows that Quant could be good. This is now the speculation stage. This is possibly a slight supply shock on exchanges as well, because they have only got a 14.5 million token supply. I think they've only released 12.5 million of those, and I think there's very little of that left on exchanges. So it's going to be really, really interesting. Thank you for the likes and the follows, people. I do appreciate that support. If we can keep smashing the likes, get it out to people's For You page, we'll get some more questions in as well. We've seen some good questions on different stuff tonight, like Mirror Protocol, and a few other things as well. So if we can keep those coming, more than happy to have a look at those as well. But ultimately as well, in that free Discord, if there's anything you want me to specifically research and share with the community, drop it in there. There's a dedicated Discord research request channel, and I do dip in there every now and again and pick one out to research, and I'll post that on TikTok, YouTube, and all that other stuff. So thank you again for the likes and the follows, people. I do appreciate that. As I said, if you've got anything you want me to have a quick look at, shout it out. But for me right now, Bitcoin's going sideways. I did a TikTok just now, maybe half an hour ago, just saying about the performance of Quant, the performance of XRP. I had a look at some of the other ISO-related projects, like Algo, XDC, and XLM. They were not performing to the same standard. So would you hypothesize that maybe they're due a run as well? For me, I possibly would. I think ISO is the only narrative at the moment likely to pump as we approach November. It could be one big buy the rumor, sell the news event, because of course ISO 222 is technically nothing to do with crypto. These cryptos are just projects that help financial institutions and banks meet that standard that's been established. So it's like a health and safety standard that the industry has to work to. These crypto projects just help support them to do that. And there's no guarantee they're going to be adopted or used, but as always, speculation, buy the rumor, sell the news. Could we see the likes of XLM, XDC, and Algo pump? Because they have not pumped in the same way XRP and Quant have. It's a possibility, it's a hypothesis, not financial advice. But have a look at the charts. Tell me what you think. I think there's room for maneuver for them. What do I think of Link? I really like Link. I actually bought my first bag of Link today for a very long time. I've always liked the utility, and I think there's room for Link and Quant. Sometimes people compare the two and say you can only have one or the other. Quant is over ledger technology, and Chainlink is kind of interoperability use case. It helps build these blockchains and projects. And should half the cryptocurrencies die, Chainlink will just be there to help build the new ones. They're into over 140 different projects, And if half of those go away, they will just be there to build new projects in their stead. No doubt about it. So yeah, I bought a nice bag of Link today. If I have a look at Link price action wise as well, let's have a look at the chart on YouTube. Where are you, Chainlink? Ah, there you are, up in the top. There we go. So the daily chart was still quite low. Not the lowest. We did go down to $6.30. We're around $6.94 at the moment. There's still lots and lots of headroom on that. And I'm going to be holding Chainlink till the next bull run. And if we're talking bull run prices on Chainlink, sorry, I'm just going to wait for my dog to finish drinking because she's a pain in the backside. Yes, I'm talking about you. Right, let's go over to the daily chart on Link. The high during the bull run was around about $53. So there's still a good 8 or 9x, I think, in Chainlink in the next bull run. And I would like to think, for me personally, I would hypothesize that they will most certainly still be around, and they will most certainly do as well as they did in the bull run, if not better. I think they're being a true utility project in crypto, building projects, blockchain projects. I think Chainlink's going nowhere. Flow I'm not familiar with. Filecoin is very, very good. I would say that possibly there's some competition coming now with Google entering the cloud storage service in terms of crypto. So there could be some real... there's competition there already, but Google entering any space is a real worry. Is it XDC or XTC? If you talk about the ISO related projects, it would be XDC, X-Ray Delta Charlie. Rolled on YouTube, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. You like Near Protocol? I do like Near Protocol as well. I do think it's good. As I said, Near is definitely one I'm watching. I don't currently hold it, but it's definitely worth keeping an eye on for me. But if you like it long term, I think it's cracking. Quant going again. Let's have a look at Quant on the let's zoom in right. Let's zoom right in on Quant. Let's go on 15 minutes on Quant and see what's that. As a long-term investor, I don't really like using these small time frames, but they can come in handy. I mean, Quant seems to be consolidating over $180 on the 15-minute chart. If we can do that, that is spectacular. But we keep consolidating a little bit and then going up, which is amazing, even on the 15-minute chart. If I zoom back out to the hourly chart, we consolidated last around about that 165, 166 mark, went up to 174, came back down to 170. We are, the hourly chart looks very, very strong still. I would expect to see maybe some sideways action for the rest of the weekend, but if it's retail action at the moment, there's still some massive green candles on the hourlies. We've seen some big red sales as well. People are going to take profit. Like me, if I'm seeing a 4x, I've taken a little bit of profit. And we will see people taking profit, no doubt about it. We've waited a long time for Quant to come back up, and people will be taking profit on it. Rolled, you wish you bought some Quant. Yeah, buddy. I mean, Quant is an absolute beast right now. I mean, I charted it out earlier. 367% over a 4x in 4 months. But if you're a long-term investor in Quant, you've been through some pain to get there first. So it's not all roses and sunshine. It's been a bit of a horrid journey. Some people bought in at the top as well, nearly $400. They're still not in profit. But hopefully they would have used the opportunity to bring that DCA down. Kronos Network, I really like Kronos. Very, very bullish, not just because of the technology. It's ERC20 based, so the technology's sound, but more primarily because of Crypto.com. I think Crypto.com are going to bring a huge volume of retail business into crypto over the next 12 to 24 months. And that is all going to slowly sprinkle feed into DeFi. And of course, they're going to use the Crypto.com DeFi wallet, which is the Kronos network. So I think a lot of projects on Kronos are going to see some really, really great growth when adoption comes in. KCS will keep moving. KCS, if I remember rightly, is that KuCoin's token. Now, I do like KuCoin, but I've never actually held their token. Exchanges are actually something that I'm looking to hold. I don't currently hold any exchange tokens, really, apart from BNB token. But that's not really the same thing. It's... so yeah, KuCoin token, $10, fully diluted market cap 1.7 billion. There is some headroom in that, but I'm looking for. I'm probably going to go smaller, but it's higher risk. Risk reward with exchanges. Risk reward. Up 50% on Quant, long hold. Absolutely. I mean, if you're up 50%, I'm assuming you bought in, I don't know, what, about $120? So if you're 50% up, you'd have bought at 120, which is still good. But, you know, the people who got into Quant when it was $40, you lucky so-and-sos. I started buying it last year when it was $64, and I carried on buying it well up over 200. So if anyone started buying Quant at $40, this bear market's been an absolute gift in terms of accumulating Quant. I really, really like it. Would I buy Quant now for short term or better wait for the dip? For me personally, I'm only DCAing into Quant because I'm going to hold it long term. It's had a big, big run. Typically, cryptos will consolidate and pull back. And they'll pull back quite heavily after a run of 360%. That's a big one. It hasn't done that yet, so you would expect it to normally, but Quant it's a bit different. And if it's speculation on adoption and supply shock and everything else kicking in at the same time, it might not come down yet. Long term, I'm holding Quant to its 4 digits. I have taken a little bit of profit now as well. And we've seen that on the Quant charts. We've seen people starting to take profits now. So I would be wary about buying Quant now if you're holding it short term, if you're trading it. If you're looking to trade on Quant, it might be better to look at maybe when is a good time to step in and short it. But as I said, when that will be, we could carry on going up. It did the same thing in the bull run. You just could not tell when it was going to stop or if it would stop. It just did whatever it did. It didn't really. It followed Bitcoin, but then it wouldn't follow Bitcoin. It was a nightmare. I don't even try and predict what it's going to do, but it's 367% up from $40. I didn't buy it there, but I have bought some, and it is in profit. So I've taken some of that profit. I think, as I said, that's one of the key things I've learned in crypto. Just if profit's there, take it. Because especially in the bear market, you're not going to get it that often. Kronos have lose 2VL on products at the moment. Yeah, I mean, the Visa card thing as well, they've been really, really clever with that Visa card. And I'll tell you why. Because if you're a basic staker, like I am, I don't hold one of the big expensive cards. I had a basic card. So I get now a 1% reward for spends, and it costs me 1% to top it up. So unless I transfer a crypto into crypto.com to spend, I'm paying 1% on my card transaction, and I'm getting 1% reward. So I'm not really gaining anything. So I am looking for a new spend card in the new year. Rolled on YouTube, messed up in 2018, bought Cardano and Bitcoin for 3K. A few months later, it was worth 300. Stopped looking, came back 2020. Yeah, so you would have made a lot of money. Yeah. So this is the thing. If you've got that long-term mindset, you can't look at the short-term price action because it can be really worrying. But if you believe in your crypto project, then you should be good long-term. What about the Nexo card? Nexo is one that I know a lot of other people that have got, and they're very happy with it, and they are still using it. So yeah, Nexo is certainly one I'm looking at, but there are others out there as well. Again, I'd be interested in finding out some of the newer projects that are offering these cashback cards. Purely because if I'm getting the rewards, I probably want to hold them. Because like if you were into crypto.com early when it was cheap, and you were getting hundreds of tokens every time you spent your money, When they got up to 70, 80 cents, you were making money. I mean, I gave an example before. I get a Spotify rebate on that, and it's about £15, and I get about £12 of that back. So I get about 120, 130 Crow tokens every time I do that. Now, let's roll forward to a bull run or roll back to the last bull run. That would have been about $100 worth of free money. So if I can find another exchange or card provider like that, and the token's going to, might see that kind of price appreciation, that's something that I really want to look at. It really is. And that would be really interesting. But yeah, at the moment in the bear market, as I said, I'm happy to DCA in. I think the projects I'm buying into will go the distance. And whilst if something runs like Quant, that it goes up 300%, I'm going to take some profit. I haven't sold all of it, and I will buy back in. Now, if it doesn't come back down, I will still use that Quant money to buy back into Quant. I would have just lost some volume, which would be annoying, but I'm not going to be stupid and not take profit. As I said, that's one of the biggest lessons I learned is I've got to take profit when it's there. Uphold has Kasama staking at 80%. Heard anything bad about it? Uphold, not particularly bad, but if you're looking to stake Kusama, buddy, I would look at some of the parachain projects on the Kasama network. So, I mean, if I go on to the Polkadot parachain auction page, so on YouTube, you can see what I'm doing. So I invested a lot of Polkadot into the parachain auctions, but also likewise, a lot of people invested Kasama into the ecosystem. So if you have a look at the Kasama projects, so things like, let's look at the early projects on Kasama. So projects 1 to 5, let's have a look. No, what Kasama? Not Polkadot. So maybe look at some of the DeFi projects that are on there. So Shiba Network, that was one of theirs. If that's a DeFi one, I mean, Polkadot parachain auctions had loads of DeFi on it. The Kasama ones, though, I didn't do, so I don't actually know. But let's have a look. Kasama, Litmus, no. Calamari, Kilts. Hiko Finance, that was one. That was a DeFi one. So Hiko Finance might be offering really good rates. Go to their website. Is Kasama a good investment or is it a bit risky? It was about £600 last bull market. The thing is with Kasama, and this is the same for Moonbeam and Moonriver, the prices at launch were huge. They were massive, massive investments in the parachain auctions. They had millions, and I mean millions of Polkadot and Kasama tokens lent out in crowd loans. So yeah, I mean, the prices came down a lot because there was big expectation. They launched in a bull run. It was all very exciting. Long term, though, they haven't really seen use case in a bull run. They've only just started becoming usable. So if you go on to Parallel Finance on the Kasama network, there are money markets in there. And I think I might have just gone forward one screen too many. So what's their one-click KSM yield strategy? Let's have a look. Now, on the Polkadot version of Parallel, you can get 57% APY on Polkadot. So I'm imagining they've got something similar here on Parallel Hiko, which is the Kasama version. Right, it's not going to tell me there. So let's have a look at the actual money markets. It's not going to tell me. Oh, no, we've got some here. Right, okay, so the rewards aren't actually very good. So yeah, if you can get 18%, buddy, that looks pretty good. I mean, Parallel, and like I said, Parallel for me on the Polkadot side, I am caning that. I've got liquidation-free loans, everything. I am completely caning it, but the Kasama side does not seem as good. 5-6%, not a lot more than that for Kasama. So if you can find 18, Phil, that's not a bad shout. Not a bad shout at all. What are my top 3 holdings? Right now, I've got Polkadot, Quant, and Moonbeam. Moonriver's quickly catching up as well. And then I've got XRP and ICP. XRP, I've still got more XRP than I have ICP. So yeah. But yeah, at the moment, I've got Dot, Quant, and Moonbeam. They're my top 3. I was very, very bullish on Akala until they had an exploit. But luckily, again, Akala tokens, their liquidity dot tokens, I am now able to go cross-bridge across to Parallel on the Polkadot network, and I can stake those liquidation risk-free. Because they're LC dot tokens, which basically means I cash them in at the end of the crowd loan for the value of dot. So there's no liquidation risk. I'm borrowing dot for dot, in theory. So they're liquidation risk-free. It's a really great idea. So I'm caning that very, very heavily. And I'm also doing the S-dot staking, the pool pair, and I'm getting 57% on my dot. It's just crazy. I mean, DeFi is still out there if you know where to find it. And we're talking about things that are on the Polkadot network and Kasama networks that are incredibly solid. I really like Polkadot and Kasama. Coinbase Global isn't one I've personally looked at. CoinGlass, I don't think I've ever used that. Am I selling Quant or holding? I have sold a proportion. So I have taken some of the profits we've seen. I have not sold out. I've still got most of it held. But one of the things I learned in the bull run is I did not take profit when it was there. So I am doing that now. Quant is up 360% in 4 months. And if I don't take profit there, whether it carries on going up or not, I will feel very stupid in a few months. So for me personally, I am taking it. I've got my own set of rules and I'm sticking to them. Hopefully the price dips and I'll just come back and buy more. 5,000 H-bar, is this worthwhile staking? H-bar isn't something I hold. I think it's incredibly low ROI. Great utility, great project. I'm pretty certain it'll be around a long time. But the ROI is just not good enough for me, so I haven't even looked into the staking. But 5,000 H-bar, you're probably looking at about $500, $600 at the moment. I mean, any amount is worth staking if you get free money for it. It's the risk. Best layer 2s for the next bull run. I think, with the exception of Matic, the best layer 2s aren't out yet. There will be some exceptional layer 2s coming out. I'm starting to do research on things that aren't out yet, and there are some phenomenal layer 2s coming. So I think Matic is still my favourite. It's still my front runner. But I think there are going to be some really good layer 2s. Crypto Joker, welcome, buddy. Good to see you. You think good move to sell my soul and buy more dot and quant? Crypto Joker, I'll be perfectly honest. This is not financial advice. This is my personal opinion. I think long-term Solana is dead. That's my personal opinion. Solana is not reliable. It's not secure. It rose to fame during an NFT gold rush, and people were using it, and Solana saw a brilliant use case. It was phenomenal, but the network can't cope, and it's proven itself not to be secure, and they haven't fixed it. If they're not going to fix it, they're going to die. So for me, long-term Solana is a no. So the fact that you've sold Solana, which I think is a dead project, and you've bought Polkadot and Quant, which I think is quality, both of them, for me personally, that's exactly what I would have done. I might not have bought more Polkadot. I might have gone for Moonbeam or Moonriver because that's my new favourites. But Polkadot is solid. I've been buying Polkadot for a long time. I bought more after the parachains as well, but I'm staking now. Maker isn't what I'm familiar with. Dot is not doing big in the price. It's just stopped, not even moving up or down. What do I think? Dot is just building. If you look at what Dot have done in the Polkadot parachain auctions, and this is the way I explain Dot and its kind of ecosystem and where I see the price action. In the last bull run last year, Polkadot did not have an ecosystem. Nothing. It was just a blockchain, just a project. Now we're seeing the parachain auctions, and those projects come good. They're going live, and they are amazing. So for me, Polkadot in the next bull run is absolutely huge. I think Polkadot is one of the only projects that can truly say it challenges Ethereum, and to be a different project and challenge Ethereum is a big thing. I also like Moonbeam and Moonriver because they are EVM based. So any Ethereum project or developer can go across to those two networks and build with no change in tech. Same dApps, same technology, same wallets, everything. But it's just got the added bonus of being on the Polkadot or Kasama network. Hugely beneficial. So yeah, for me, DOT is stable right now, or not stable. We are seeing it slowly decrease in price as per the rest of the bear market. But as I said, I think the price was spectacular in the bull run, and it will be again. That's my personal opinion. Is HNT not on Solana? Bye HNT. When I say Solana's a dead project, I just think that something better will come along. Something better and more reliable. I don't think Solana's literally dead. That was probably an overstatement. I just don't think it will be as big as it was. But yes, HNT are looking to migrate some of their services across to Solana. That's absolutely right. But it shows you what they think of Ethereum. They are ERC20 based, and they're migrating the ERC20 compatible elements across to Solana. So tech-wise, they think they're getting a better deal, but I would be very, very worried if I was an HNT supporter because I don't like Solana. Gunners are the best. Welcome, buddy. Thanks for the AMA. Liam, you're welcome, buddy. As I said, I don't want to push too many TikToks about it, but I want to make people aware. So, for anyone out there, Liam is from the Serenity Shield team. So that's Gunners are the best. His name's Liam. He is from Serenity Shield. He's part of the team there. And we've got an AMA on Monday at 8:30 p.m. GMT. The link is in my bio to my Discord, and it's all in there. A link to Serenity Shield as well. Please turn up. Please come along. Listen to what they've got to say. It's a fantastic project with fantastic utility. Token with proper use case. And I don't just mean you can use it to buy stuff on their network. It's a proper utilitarian token. So please come along and check it out. It's a great project. They have patents pending. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it is a fantastic project. As I said, the link to that event is in my bio. Just click on that, set yourself a reminder, and we'll see you there. If you've got any questions, if you've researched it, there's a channel in the Discord for that as well. And I hope you utilize it. We've had some stonking questions already. And just so you know as well, something I haven't put on here, the team at Serenity Shield have kindly said that they'll donate 150 Surge tokens. That's the equivalent of about $75 in the second pre-sale round. So $75 of free Surge tokens if you ask a good question. And that's going to be up to them. So if you're going to have to make it a good one. Still need to get on to DOT. I mean, DOT, to be fair, Cal, DOT takes a lot of research. It takes a lot to get your head round. I think if you're going to research it, I wouldn't always advise you to listen to YouTubers, but find Crypto is Good. Crypto is Good explains DOT really well and the tech. He explains ICP and the tech really well as well. But he's a big fan of DOT and ICP. But yeah, if you're going to research the tech of DOT, you've basically got a parachain and relays. So you've got the relay, which is, imagine Polkadot is a ring. That's the relay, and then you've got the parachains, which are like the projects that come off of that. They all interact using the relay, really safe and secure. Well, more safe and secure than most other blockchains. And they all interact really easily. That's why I like Polkadot. But yeah, do your research, check it out. I just think Polkadot is the only true rival at the moment to Ethereum. That's how bullish I am on Polkadot. Do I think this weekend we'll see a pullback? Yeah, I think we see a little bit. Quant might carry on upwards. We might see a few projects run up and down. A little bit of volatility, but generally sideways for the rest of the weekend. In my personal opinion, when the markets open Monday, that's when we'll see what How many Quant do I have? Quant is only about 9% of my portfolio right now. So I've got a lot more Polkadot than I have Quant, although Quant is my most bullish project. ZCX Unison, we had a little look at that earlier. It's definitely something that is worthy of a deeper dive, but I just didn't have time to do it on the live. ICP or DOT, which one would you pick if I only had one option? I think if I could only choose one, I would choose DOT because it is being adopted, it is being built on, and I'm hugely bullish on the use case that is there now. ICP is more speculative, it's different tech, but it's better tech than anything else we've got out there. It is faster, it's virtually gasless, it's more secure because a lot of the exploits that we see right now, they are vulnerabilities that are created through bridging and cross-chain. And that's where the exploits are happening. Millions and millions of dollars of exploits all the time at the moment. But within ICP, the transaction never truly leaves the chain. You've got ICP is kind of like borderless. So you can build in ICP using Bitcoin. You can build in an ICP using Ethereum. So you can interact on ICP with Bitcoin and Ethereum without ever leaving the ICP network. It never goes off chain. That's why I think it's an amazing piece of tech with huge potential. And it is literally called Internet Computer. It's an entirely different way of doing it. And that's where the big if comes into ICP. The potential is massive, but it's all about adoption. If it isn't adopted, it's worthless. DJ Dipper, you're absolutely welcome, buddy. I just like talking about crypto, and if you find it useful, fantastic. Did I ever buy back into XRP? I haven't left XRP. I've still got my bag. I'm just not DCAing into it anymore. I get far more excited now about projects like Moonbeam, Moonriver, like ICP, even DOT. I get far more excited about those projects than I do XRP. XRP got me into crypto, and it was great because I've got a finance background and I understood it. It was fantastic. And I just got it, and it got me in. But I can see the investment potential. But in terms of projects that could really blow up without that lawsuit over their head, there are other options to make money. And although I like XRP and Ripple, I'm not here to support them. I'm here to invest and make money, as hopefully we all are. I've been in crypto the same time as you, and I've learned more from you than any other podcast. Phil, honestly, mate, that means so much for me. I mean, I've really sort of dove deep into crypto. For me, I've learned as much as I can, as quick as I can. So I appreciate I can't know it all, and my knowledge is quite general. So I'm a jack of all trades, master of none springs to mind. But things that I like, I understand and kind of can help explain a lot more than things I don't. So yeah, I'm just pleased that you keep coming back, Phil, and you keep finding it useful. And I hope that carries on for a long, long time. How about proof of stake consensus on ETH? Any thoughts, good or bad? I didn't like it a bit. Now, ETH is a perfect example. I need to get my head around the tech as to what direction proof of stake is now taking Ethereum. I initially didn't like the centralization aspect. I mean, 46% of all transactions going through Ethereum proof of stake in the first few days were through 2 wallet addresses. If that's not centralized, I don't know what is. And it doesn't seem to have changed much. So I don't know is the honest answer, but there are aspects of ETH proof of stake I don't like. But there are aspects of ETH proof of work that I didn't like. So I need to do some more research before I can have any valid opinion. So Twinklebeak, welcome, buddy. Good to see you. Will Matic do more X than DOT, in my opinion? Oh, that's a difficult one. Now, in terms of how many X it can do, depends on use case. What I would say is Polkadot is a network. Matic is a layer 2. Now, it's a massive layer 2 for Ethereum. So I think in terms of times of investment, I think you could probably see Matic run up to all-time high previously and then a little bit more. That would put it... What was Matic's all-time high? Let's have a look. Matic is just getting stronger and stronger the longer it goes on. And this is where it breaks down on me. Come on, Matic. There you are. Polygon Matic on the daily. So all-time high was around about there. Around about $3. I think it'll easily go $3, but that's like only a 5x from where we are. Now Polkadot was over $50. And currently Polkadot is $6. That's a 9x. I think DOT will smash its previous all-time high. Like I said, before DOT had no ecosystem. Now it will have a massive ecosystem. And it will be better than anything else out there. Pushing, and it'll be truly rivaling Ethereum. That's what I firmly believe. That's why I'm so passionate on DOT. I truly believe DOT will rival Ethereum in the next bull run. The projects, the DeFi, everything that they're releasing, they are just amazing. It's better tech. ICP owns anything else. ICP's got like umpteen million patents on its technology as well. You chose Casper over both. Casper's certainly an emerging choice. It's definitely an emerging choice. I just preferred Polkadot and ICP. But Casper is still just a blockchain. ICP is very, very different again. ZCX is another one that I've looked at earlier, and we just need to dive on it. I don't know anything about it. What's my biggest hidden gem for the next bull run? See, my hidden gems are really small and really risky. I still really like Rubik. I think Rubik's a brilliant cross-chain swap dex, but it's that term now, cross-chain swap dex. It's a little bit of a turn off, but I still think it's an excellent solution. But there are quite a few competitors in that space now. I think MTV's a pretty good looking network. I think Secret Network's looking pretty good. I still need to do research on a lot of these. But there are some very, 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 very low cap gems that I'm looking at that I would never share. But I still think in terms of anything under 40 million, Moonriver is got to be the one to look at. I think Moonriver, market cap of less than 40 million, tokenomics it's got, use case it's got, Moonriver is one of my biggest bets for the bull run. I'm really loading up on that as heavily as I can. That's my. It's not financial advice, it's just me, but I think Moonriver's got huge potential in terms of return on investment. Matic going to $7 in the next bull run. With the adoption and the use case, especially if it sees massive use case through things like Disney, it really sees the volume fly, then yeah, we could see twice the all-time high from before. It's all about that adoption and how much more money comes in. If they get more money coming in, they will have a higher token price. Hey, Batman. Yeah, I'm all good, buddy. Have I gone into Bitcoin yet? Waiting to make a move. Do you know what? I've said to myself, I tiered all the things I wanted to buy at the bottom of the bear market, and I had a nice little tier set up. It had Bitcoin, Quant, and Crow in my first tier. That's all I was going to concentrate on first. And the only thing I've bought is Quant. I've bought a little bit of Crow as well, but I've really focused on Quant. And then I've bought a lot of my tier 2 stuff as well. Dot, bought some Chainlink today, Moonbeam, Moonriver. So yeah, ICP. I haven't bought any Bitcoin still. It's stupid, I know, but I've still got my ROI hound. Now, Bitcoin's probably one of the safest investments, and it could, ultimately in the next 2 to 3 years, it could 10x from its current price, possibly. So it's a reasonable investment long term still. But I still want those quick ROIs for the next bull run. So short answer, no, I still haven't got any Bitcoin. Why is Quant pumping right now? Speculative. My theory is that we are seeing a slight supply shock. It's got a low circulating supply. Maximum supply is 14.5 million. About 12.5 is in supply, and not a lot of that is on exchanges. So we're seeing that supply and demand set up. We're also seeing a lot of speculation over CBDCs and government stablecoins. These things are happening. They are being adopted, and everyone believes that Quant will be involved in the interoperability. The overledger technology, making it all work. Because we've already seen that Australia is going to use XDC to some degree in their solution. We've got XLM some places, Ripple in others, and Quant is going to make all those blockchains talk to each other efficiently. The overledger technology that makes it all work. So it all plugs into Quant. So with all this stuff happening, and we can see it's happening now, I think people are speculating now that Quant is definitely solid, and even in a bear market, ISO is probably contributing a bit to the pump as well. But for me, ISO is a lot more speculative than CBDC use case. MTV and Secret, MTV is been around a while, but Secret's really good, especially when you think I'm very pro adoption. Very pro bankers coins, if you like. So, and I appreciate the government are going to come in, they're going to start using it, and that will drive adoption. But I'm also aware that there is a requirement for privacy, and I like Secret Network. I didn't really research Secret Network until I found out Serenity Shield were using it, and then then it clicks. Yeah, that's what we need. That's what we need privacy networks for. That. So if you research Serenity Shield ready for the AMA on Monday, you'll understand why those are required. It's a very, very privacy-orientated, security-orientated project. And I'm very, very, very bullish on it. And hence why I'm happy to have them in the Discord for an AMA. Super bullish on Moonriver. Yeah, Moonriver for me, I'm going to go through the tokenomics and the current market cap, right? And this is basically, you've got Moonbeam on Polkadot, you've got Moonriver, which is the canary network for Moonbeam, but it's on Kasama. So you've got two virtually identical, one feeds into the other, but a lot will stay with Moonriver. Now I think Moonriver's supply is 10.5 million. I think. Yeah, so Moonriver's total supply is 10.5 million, okay? Current market cap is 57.9 million. Fully diluted, that's 110 million. Now, I believe Moonriver and Moonbeam have got potential to be in a $10 billion market cap plus. If we look at good networks that blew up in the last bull run, if it does that, that's 100x. On fully diluted, that's 100x. So, yeah, very, very bullish. $10.48. It sounds expensive, but there's only 10.5 million of them. So if it gets a $10 billion market cap, it's $100 a token. Bang. No, hang on. If it gets a $10 billion market, it's $1,000 a token. So yeah. Big potential in Moonriver. And the use case is solid. And they have got deep pockets because of the parachain auctions. They were funded a lot of money. Disappointed when I found out Mover's circulating supply increases by 5% each year. It does, but it's a low supply. 5% of that a year. You're looking at 100,000 tokens a year. No, hang on. What am I on about? Oh my god, my maths has gone out the window. Right, hang on. So the supply increases by 5% a year. The current circulating supply has the staking, the vesting as well. I've got to get the maths head back on now. 10, 5, 0, 0. Divided by 100 times 5. There you go, that's easier. So yeah, the supply will increase by 500,000 tokens a year. But that, in line with adoption and use case, I don't think that damages the project. I mean, if you believe in the tech as I do, that it will get adopted, you're talking about, okay, year 2, it'll be 11 million. Year 3, 11.5. Year 4, 12. The growth rate of Moon River should help dilute the effect of those extra coins. That's my personal belief on that. So you're right, it's not a set 10.5 million, it will increase. But as I said, adoption and price action should drown that out, in my opinion. I really like it, and I think it's 100% worth it. If it's fully diluted and they release 5%, your investment goes down by a maximum of 5%. It's not a lot, but as I intend to be holding it 2, 3, 4 years. So the fact that the supply maximum goes up to 12.5 million, it's still just under $1,000 a token if it gets to a $10 billion market cap, and there are other networks not as good that did 40 billion. That's my maths on it roughly. Not bad for 9 o'clock on a Saturday. Yeah, excellent tokenomics. Didn't buy more than 15 quant when it hit 44. I think 15 quant in anyone's book is actually a very good number. To accumulate 15 quant is more than what I've got, and it's more than what some other creators have got. So even though I'm incredibly bullish on it, I'll say, have I got 15? I know some hardware ledger. I've probably got about 45. I've got 15 on a ledger. Yeah. Just trying to think now. I've sold some. I think 15's a lot anyway. If you're bullish on it like me and you bought it for $44, that's cost you the best part of $500-600. I think if it reaches my price target of 4 figures, you've got 15 grand. That's not bad at all. Right then, folks, it is 9 o'clock, so I think I'm going to start winding it down there. I really want to thank you for your questions this evening. You've been really, really good. Some of the projects you've raised have been really good as well. If you've mentioned any networks or projects that I didn't mention you want me to have a look at, please just join the Discord, drop them in the research request channel. More than happy to look at these things. Obviously, time dependent, I will do them as and when I can, but at least they were there and I can then share them with the community. But it'll be great to see you all in there. And don't forget the Discord on Discord AMA on Monday with Serenity Shield. I think everyone will be thoroughly impressed with the tech that's going on there. So I hope to see you all in there. But yeah, catch you all again very, very soon. Thank you for being here.